Should we get into questions?
Why
Let's get right into the Royal Rejects questions here. I think we have a
Question
few here, so let's
Absolutely.
check it out. Who are we gonna start off with here, Jonald?
All right, we got Roby Bobarp Pyrrhus. Thank you so much for stoking the fires of our chitty chat. For Aaron,
get to it, don't
John, and Andrew Shige. Happy Gilmore 2. Hi, guys.
Hola.
How's it going? It's going
Hey, Roby.
pretty great right now.
Yer.
Feeling nice.
Yar.
Today, 3 simple questions. Here we go. Which one is your favorite and which one is your least favorite Adam Sandler movie
Ooh.
and why?
Ooh.
Then, which one was your favorite concealed flask in the movie?
That's a great question. I like that one.
And will you react to what I call the Barrymore Sandler trilogy, The Wedding Singer, Aaron excluded because you've already covered that, 50 First Dates, and Blended. And yes, I did just make a triple request. Keep up the good work, and ciao from Sardinia.
Let's start it off one question at a time. Okay.
Absolutely. All right, question
Okay.
one.
All three
Favorite,
at the same time.
No, let's see.
favorite
Everyone
Sands.
at once.
Fave and least fave.
Okay, favorite Sandler movie has to be Wedding Singer for me. I love the chemistry between Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. I love all the songs in that movie, and I love the balance between how serious that film can be and how hysterical that movie can be. And it's just a great romantic film in general. I love that movie. He is so damn good as Robbie Hart. Chef's kiss. That's my favorite Adam Sandler movie. But it's a close between that and Happy Gilmore, I will say. I'll have to think about my least favorite Adam Sandler film. That's a toughie. I haven't watched as many recently Adam Sandler films, to be quite honest, so I don't know if I have a least favorite. Again, I'd have to think about that. What about you guys? Do you have a favorite Adam Sandler film?
Ooh.
But it's Wedding Singer for me.
I'm tossed between because I reacted to at least one of them on his channel. Wedding Singer is up there for me, but my other one would be Uncut Gems because that movie
Was good, and we reacted to that.
Anxiety-inducing.
Yeah, we reacted to that.
trip.
I've never felt so much anxiety on a reaction. How about do you remember how that was?
Oh, goodness. Remind me again. I was momentarily arrested by... I was pulling up some information.
He
and then
said that Uncut Gems was one of his
Oh,
favorite.
yeah,
I
man.
said
Yeah.
John and I don't know
Yeah,
if we've
sorry.
ever felt so much anxiety during a reaction.
That was a stressful movie.
That is an incredibly intense movie. I mean, it's hard to beat Uncut Gems. I guess,
It's a great film.
the Sandlers, certainly, at a certain point, I guess you could pick your favorite dramatic Sandler and your favorite comedic Sandler.
Definitely.
I very much enjoyed that movie. Obviously, I think my personal Sandler comedy that charmed me from when it came out, and is not one most people name, but is one of those kind of family fave movies. Is You Don't Mess with the Zohan. I think that movie is very funny.
Michael.
I need to look at
Before
his
it's the movie he got buff for. And
that's a fun movie.
And it's one of the rare, I had to come around to Adam Sandler later in life, obviously. You guys have seen a lot of my Adam Sandler experiences watching his, classic flicks, and I've really enjoyed, Big Daddy and The Water Boy and Happy Gilmore and everything that we've seen. But yeah, that was the one that I discovered, kind of, when it came out on my own interest. And, kind of that was the icebreaker for me with Adam Sandler. And then I was able to come back and appreciate his older stuff after that. So I guess that's what I would say would be my favorite one. I'm trying to figure out what would be my personal least favorite.
There's definitely a couple of the older ones I need to see. I still need to see with Damon Wayans Bulletproof and James Caan is in that film. I think that one came out in 96 as well. I need to see that one. I have not seen Blended, so I would love to react to that. If I don't, I'll check it out because I do love 50 First Dates is one of my favorite ones. I know I didn't include that in here, but that is one of my favorites. I love that. Again, his chemistry with Drew Barrymore, it's phenomenal. They're so damn good together. Like if he was not married to his wife in real life, you would think they are a couple. They're so good together on screen.
Well, shouts out to Hotel Transylvania as well.
Oh, I've never seen
Those are very
those movies.
fun.
I got to check those out. Okay.
Back
Yeah.
when we were allowed to go to test screenings, those people who pass out flyers, at the movie theater, we got to see. Oh, Click, that's right. We got to see.
Oh, I love Click. That's a good one.
Yeah, Click was a lot of fun and more touching than you would expect.
Yeah. Same director as Wedding Singer and Waterboy, Frank Carrazzi.
What was I gonna say?
The test screenings.
The test screening. Yeah, we went to one for Funny People way back when. The Judd
Ooh, Judd
Apatow.
Apatow.
Never
So,
seen
yeah.
Funny People.
I like
Good?
that movie.
I like the theatrical cut that ultimately came out, but we saw it a couple times at advanced screenings, and it changed a lot each time. And the first time we saw it, I remember Judd Apatow said his goal was to make a movie that was twice as serious as his previous movies and like 3 times as funny, I think is how he described it.
Interesting.
And the first cut we saw was like a near perfect, or Greg and I recall that as like a near perfect movie. And have been like sitting there waiting, like wishing that we could see that cut again, because it was the perfect blend of like the dramatic parts of that movie with a lot of the
Yeah.
funny stuff, and there's a lot of improv, and so you know, obviously each cut changed a lot in terms of what jokes they kept, what stand-up bits they kept, and so like that doesn't really count to me because obviously, like, you know, people can't see it and it's not really out there. But that was always kind of like one that stood out in the Adam Sandler oeuvre to me.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Good
look
choices, good choices. I would also
Yeah.
say too, he's a phenomenal dramatic actor, and
Sure.
I saw Punch Drunk Love so long ago I don't remember it. And then I would say too, Reign Over Me, I think it's called, right? The one with
Yeah.
he was great in that movie.
I love The Longest
That was
Yard.
a haunting role. He had to play in Uncut Gems, of course.
Yeah, Longest Yard was great.
It's
Oh,
hard
yeah,
to
you and me
choose.
reacted to that, right? That was you and I?
It's hard
That
to
was a
choose
good
a
one.
least favorite, honestly,
Yeah,
because
same.
like I have seen most of the classics and have enjoyed
Yeah.
most of like his classics.
Yeah.
I haven't
Um,
seen what's regarded as his worst movie. You know what that one is?
I think it's a movie that you like.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one are we talking about?
Jack and Jill.
Oh no, actually,
Oh, I have not seen that.
I haven't seen Jack
I
and
have not
Jill.
seen
I've heard a
that.
lot of reviews of not very good Sandler movies.
I heard Al Pacino's funny in it. But
Yes,
that's
I've
all,
heard
That's
that.
all I've heard.
I mean, somebody reacted to Pixels here, and they said it was surprisingly fun. I was gonna. I thought you were gonna bring up Little Nicky.
I love. I'm Nicky. I love Little Nicky. I don't care what it's directed by Stephen Brill. I love that film. And then also, what is our favorite concealed flask? The cell phone one. I thought that was pretty cool.
I was
they were all.
sad.
They were. I know it was sad, obviously, of course. but
Pepper
I thought
Shaker, I think, is pretty great.
That was a good one. They were all.
Golf
They
ball.
were. They were all
Golf
great.
ball is pretty great.
I loved
Yeah.
Golf Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the cell phone one. 'cause you can
And just
literally
having the
take
cuckoo clock with the flip out, just little bottle, I thought was very funny.
Yeah.
I thought the cucumber one was great. The first one.
Yeah, absolutely. The cucumber like totally took me by surprise because I first thought it was just going to be like, oh, it's a phallic vegetable joke, and then it turned into one of my favorite gags in the movie. So
Yeah.
gotta respect where it all began. Remote control, also pretty good.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, can't guarantee any particular reactions here, and obviously, The Wedding Singer has at least happened once. The Wedding Singer and 50 First Dates for me are actually movies that I saw way back in the day and have very little recollection of the finer points of. So I would be thrilled to watch them again and
I
to
would
get
love
like
to
that
see you do
fresh
it.
first experience. And Blended, yeah, I know almost nothing about.
I've never seen Blended.
Yeah.
I
mean,
And it's been years since I've seen 50
I've,
First
I've
Dates.
never seen Blended either, so maybe the three of us can do Blended.
That would be cool.
That'd be
I'd
great.
be down for that.
And ciao to you in Sardinia.
Yeah, thank you for the
Ciao.
questions. That was great.
I haven't seen all of the Ridiculous Six, but what I have seen was pretty awful. So I guess if I had a least favorite Sandler, maybe it would be that one. Who knows? Tim wants to know. Thank you, Tim,
Thank you,
for
Tim.
stoking the fires of conversation,
Thank you, Timothy.
including anyone played anyone who played the children of the characters who have since passed. Who was your favorite returning or new character?
Ooh, the Mr. Larson one was pretty funny.
Sure.
Drago.
I mean, Eminem.
Eminem. Oh yeah, Joe
Right.
Flaherty's
As
son.
Joe Flaherty's son was
Yeah,
pretty great. I mean,
Jackass.
I loved, honestly. I thought it was a very fun memoria in the cemetery where they're fighting on all the
That
graves.
was. I think you're
like it's not technically
Yeah.
appearances, but it is.
But
know,
it's a
sort
way to
of.
honor the characters for sure.
Yeah.
Without actually having to show anyone. I think I'm gonna agree with you on that one. I think that was my favorite thing to do as well.
I mean, yeah, like
Yeah.
Slim was really fun. Like, there's just so many fun ones, yeah. And
Yeah.
you know, all obviously like tons of cameos we would have missed.
Yeah,
but-
and I don't know if it counts. I mentioned it a couple times already, but I love seeing Alan Covert, however you say his last name, Otto, the caddy.
Yeah.
Seeing him cameo at the end in the Alki meeting.
Uh-huh.
So I think that was nice to see him because he's obviously a very good friend of Adam Sandler. He's been in 50 billion of his movies, so I think that was cool that I don't know if he's playing the same character because he didn't interact with him or mention him by name. So,
Yeah.
but just to see him in there was really nice. It was cool to see Doug Thompson again, if that's his last name, I don't remember. But the director Dennis Dugan of the first movie, it was nice to see him back, even though he's not directing this. So I'm glad he was a good sport and chose to
and
return.
showed up
I think
for it.
that was cool.
Yeah.
So I think it was kind of like Michael Bay returning, to the Bad Boys films in that cameo,
Yeah,
right? And even
yeah,
though he's not
totally.
directing the movies anymore, so I think it was kind of like in spirit of that. So that was kind of cool. I liked seeing Doug back.
Well, and Shooter McGavin, I thought they obviously is kind of like an obvious choice for a question like this. And part of the fun is picking the more like fun little appearances. But I think his handling in the movie and the way they introduced him and the way they took their time in getting to him and the way they have him and Happy bury the hatchet and ultimately team up, I thought that was really fun.
I
And I
agree with
really
that.
liked getting to
Yeah.
watch him again in, this role.
Yeah, no, I actually that's one of the two notes I actually wrote down was that it made sense for his like actual arc in terms of us also coming around to rooting for him is like golf, and that was a very big point of contention for why he hates Happy so much in the first movie and why he's so jealous.
Yeah.
Golf is so pure for him. And so to see what they are doing, Maxi or whatever they are called, to see what they are doing, it makes sense why he would be so against them. When you're seeing, like, look at the life of luxury that they are offering towards you, it's like he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, golf, it means a lot to this guy. As much as we were rooting against him and hated him in the first movie, this still, like, is still in line with how this guy feels from the first movie about golf.
Sure.
So, like, it would make sense that he would actually team up with Happy, and I think it was still done in a very natural way and in a way that we can actually root for the character.
Yeah.
And I thought Christopher McDonald was still fantastic. Like, you love to hate him in the first movie, and you love to root for him in this
and in
one.
so
and I
many
love that.
movies. This is
Yeah.
like he's been. It struck me the other day. I was like, oh man, he's been in so much stuff over so much time, and in so many
He's a great actor.
comedies
great
and
actor.
various movies and stuff. And yeah, he's got a distinct voice, but he's also got a very distinct face and presence. And yeah, like this is a kind of character he would often play, but he's really good at it. And it was cool to see, especially the end of that fight scene. Looked like he and Sandler were like actually just having fun together.
Yeah.
And I feel like there have been phases of Adam Sandler's career where people are more, down on the fact that it looks like, oh, you got a bunch of people together to have fun on set, and does that translate into the movie? And this movie had that feeling of everyone's having fun on set, and it's kind of a party, but it also felt like an actual movie, and it didn't feel like anything was didn't feel lazy
No.
because of that, I guess I
Yeah.
would say.
Do you have any characters that you...
I really
Before we-
liked Bad Bunny's
I was about to add
character.
that right after
Dude,
you. I
he
was
was
about
so
to add that.
funny.
He was great.
So
he was
way
a lot of.
funnier.
He was a lot of fun. I
Also,
agree with that.
it was a very small character, but his cousin who was just like offering to get hit in the
Oh,
field.
yeah.
that was great.
Yeah, the two of them were really funny as like new characters. I thought they were really funny.
Yeah, Scooter was great as a returning character. Obviously, I think that Happy himself was great because it's the sensibilities that made Adam Sandler famous in the first place, but with the senior maturity of all of the experiences that he's had through his career.
Yeah.
He was able to bring the heart and the humor to this new movie and the role of Happy within the time that's passed. And I think he did an amazing job. I think he's still a great lead, and I feel like he did a really strong job of bringing the softer side and the more hilarious side.
Yeah, and I agree with you, and I think this film was really able to strike that balance between being hysterical, have self-awareness, and still have some really meaningful themes. Like they hit perseverance, legacy, and also coming to terms with
grief.
Well, yeah, coming to terms with grief, but also coming to terms with like your
Where you-
past.
Yeah, and
You
where
know?
you are now in
Yeah,
life.
yeah, and so like I was like, wow, the fact that they're able to really be mature about this, like in a film like this, and still also in the quieter moments, the film really, for me at least, it didn't drag, and especially in the first half, like I thought the first half was absolutely phenomenal. Second half I still liked, but the first half I loved. So
I started to feel the runtime towards the middle of the movie. I think when we got to like an hour and 10-ish, but I was still enjoying it. Like the only two scenes that I really love most of the movie, the only two scenes I was like, oh, this is good, but I'm ready for the next scene was when it was the room full of all the golfers and they all had their jackets on, and I was like, oh, this is a room of
Sure.
people I don't know. And then
Yeah.
I think by the time we got to like this, I think it was we had like 2 or 3 montages in this movie, or at least like training sequences, so to speak. And right when Shooter started training them, and they're like watching the video. Granted, the stuff after that was interesting, but I was like, okay, like this movie's a little dense, but I still think it's great. I think it is a more rounded movie than the first. I like the simplicity and the briskness of the first movie, but I do like that this balances the heart of what it's like to be a dad who's going through grief. Because the first movie is very much an underdog story, and this one's more of a redemption story. And grant, I guess, an underdog in a sense as well. But yeah, it's what did I write? I wrote a note. It's like, yeah, this is a redemption story and a comeback story, which I thought was great.
Yeah, and also too, the stakes were extremely high in both films that I liked. In terms of like the first film, you got the simplistic story. His grandma owes back taxes. He's got to make money so that he can get the house back. And then this one, like he's got to make money so that he can send off his daughter to school, but also there's the fact that like
Just
he's got
to fix his life.
Well, yeah, to fix his life
exactly.
too, because of like the grief that he's going through as well. But also he's got to set an example for his children as well, who are now more grown up as well.
It's a man who fights for family. I think
Yeah.
that's something that's strong and consistent through both films.
And I mean, while we're on the subject of characters, it was really fun to see Ben Stiller back in action.
Yeah.
And the ensemble of character and comedic actors at the Alkies being healed forever or whatever his thing is called. And the kids I thought were all really fun. And I'm trying to think if there's anybody of huge note. I mean, who's the actress who plays his wife?
Virginia?
Yeah. Oh, God, I don't know that.
Virginia.
Okay.
Madsen, right?
Well, there's a
God,
Virginia Madsen who's an actress, but I don't think
Julie
that's her.
Bowen.
Julie Bowen. That's
There you
right.
go. I thought that was an interesting call here to like have her die so horribly.
In the same
Which-
way as the dad, basically, as the first movie with the hockey hitting her. But sorry.
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah. It was really funny, and I do appreciate that she at least like loomed over the movie. And they
Yeah.
had at least a few scenes, and this. In the landscape of like, we're doing a lot of legacy sequels. We're doing a lot of like many years later, this person's older. So now we're doing a comedy, but it's also more mature now. And I thought this was a pretty good version of that, generally speaking, because it was like still funny. And you have all this hijinks of, Benny Safdie, who was very fun to watch in this context because I'm not used to seeing him in more broad comedy. And like Haley Joel Osment. Also very much, kind of embracing the assignment of playing a real smarm.
Yeah.
Like I thought there is a lot going on in this movie and it is like kind of thick for what it is. But I'll almost I will take that if it means that they'll put some extra effort into,
100%.
the tenor of. I think this is for my taste, a good example of the balance where you're like, we don't need to make this like a drama, but like, like people care about Happy Gilmore, people love Adam Sandler, so you can afford to take it a little bit more seriously because you got to create the underdog stakes again. But also, I thought what they created out of those stakes was pretty believable, which was a nice thing. We can move on to the next question, I suppose, if no one else has a character to shout out or an actor we've missed.
Nope.
Tim Pierce.
Thank you, Aaron.
This is a fun one. Happy versus Dexter to the death. Pick a winner.
Surprise!
I mean, I feel like if Dexter wasn't able to, because Andrew and I are watching Dexter right now. I'm sorry, Aaron.
Sorry, Aaron.
He sneaks up on people sometimes, and he'll like inject them in the neck. And if he's not able to do that to Happy, I feel like Happy might get the edge on him.
Really quick, are we talking about Happy from the first movie or Happy from this movie?
Let's do one of each. Just cover all the bases.
I feel like you'd have an easier time with Happy from this movie because he would be drunk.
Yeah, because he's way
That's
more
what I'm
lethargic.
saying. He's like wasted most of the movie.
Okay, 90s Happy has a shot.
Yeah.
2020s
But
Happy.
Is Dexter
maybe.
a good fighter?
He does have
he's really
we at
good.
the point in the show, and this isn't very much of a spoiler because it's just an offhand comment, but it does register. I think that he does have some kind of jujitsu training or whatever.
Yeah, and also, and on top of that, like, I mean, credit to Bob Barker. He's a badass, but Bob Barker was able to take down
badass
Happy.
Bob.
He was able to take down Happy, so I don't know. I mean, Dexter might take down even 90s. I don't know.
I don't know. Bob Barker's built different.
It would be a worthy fight, is all I would say. I would love to see 90s Happy in his prime versus Dexter in his prime. It'd be a great fight. I don't know who I would take.
Absolutely.
But I'd want to see them fighting on that green that we saw twirling around. That'd be
Oh
know?
my God, that
Oh,
was
ugh.
like nightmare golf, nightmare mini big golf.
Oh my god, I don't know how they didn't puke.
Honestly, though, part of me goes like, if you took mini golf and expanded it to regular golf scale, so you're like playing in some kind of golf wonderland, that would be sickness.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
mean,
I was getting some vibes of, I don't know if either of you saw Caddyshack 2.
I haven't seen
I haven't seen
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack 2.
just
I've seen
becomes this-
Caddyshack when I was like a little kid.
You don't need to ever see that movie, please. But like, it becomes this like crazy playground of wacky do golf. I'm like, it just reminded me of like what this guy was trying to do. So I don't know if like that was just like a play on from Caddyshack 2 with what they were doing with Max here, but either way.
That's fair. All golf movies are on the table.
Yeah.
All right, Kev B, thanks for chiming in here for Happy Gilmore 2. Hope you've had a nice day. I hope you have had as well.
It's been a happy day.
It has been a happy day so far. So, what did you think of seeing Happy back on the green after all these years? Did anything about this comeback story or the challenges he faces stand out to you compared to the original? I mean,
We kind of just really went into that. But
yeah, I feel like a lot of the stuff they do here kind of stands out. The original, suits what a young guy would have to deal with. Like, oh, I want to save my grandma's house, and I'm trying to find my lot in life. Whereas this one, I thought they met the assignment of like, okay, so it's a little bit more mature, and he's got a little bit more mature problems to deal with. It was nice, and like the height of his character never broke out of the reality of what they had him dealing with. It never seemed. Every now and again, we'll watch one of these, and you go like, how do people put up with this guy? And like I never thought that here,
Yeah.
even if he gets outlandish or whatever.
Yeah, I think this one was really, really good. Honestly, way better than I thought a legacy sequel to a comedy could be.
Yeah.
I think it definitely stands amongst a few in that category. It's real hard to make a sequel all these years later, but I feel like them grounding a sense of heart and then believable stakes. Like I think seeing it now, seeing the elements and how much love was put into this, it's very believable that this is the same guy from 1996.
100%. That's a great call.
And I really dug that. Plus the gags. It's weird because comedy is something that changes over time and what we find funny, but I felt like they found a nice medium between stuff that was funny back then and stuff that would be funny now, and how Adam Sandler's sensibilities as a writer and a comedic performer have evolved since doing like the over the top hijinks of the 90s. So I think they did a great job in that. Did anything about the comeback story, new challenges he faced stand out to you compared to the original? Yeah, I think it makes sense that he is someone who, because of how much he loves family and how much he loves people, his main struggle would be
Yeah.
alcoholism in this movie. And that was an actual plot point of the movie. They started to treat it as a joke, but I think because they treated the gag of him having the different things as a joke, when he finally does do it again and falls off the wagon with the
Yeah.
phone one, that started off as a
hit hard.
gag. The subversion of it actually being a sad thing was, I thought, really well done. So again, I think his sensibilities as a writer has really grown in the last 30 years. So
Yeah.
I think this is really great.
I love the first movie, but I don't remember like a moment hitting me that hard like it did in the bathroom
Sure.
in the first movie. But yeah, I really didn't want to have my hopes too high up for this film, because the last time I did that on a comedy sequel, so just full transparency, my favorite comedy of all time is the original Dumb and Dumber from 1994.
Oh no.
And I had my hopes way too high up for
no.
Dumb and Dumber 2, and apologies if I offend anyone who likes the sequel to that film. I don't like that movie at all. And I laughed maybe 2 times. Maybe I need to revisit it.
You
but
cried
Yeah,
100
I actually, I
times.
legit did. I'm not being hyperbole. I did when I finished that film. I was like, I waited so long for this. I really wish they would have. Yes.
Oh, you
I-
cried because it was bad?
Yeah, because I think like the cardinal sin for that movie is like, besides like, I mean, it's again, the first movie is very simplistic, but I just wanted to laugh, and I
He
didn't.
had one job.
I think one or 2 times I maybe laughed in that movie. I'll maybe one day I'll rewatch it and give it one more try, but I just. Yeah, I think, but this film really surprised me. I didn't have my hopes up, but it surprised me in like how mature it was, how self-aware it was. but again, it still balanced itself and the emotional weight it still carried, and that I think like what you just said, Aaron, that this still felt like the same guy, and that was still able to have that humor from the original and still be humoristic in today in 2025. So I think it did a great job, and I loved the mature themes that this film was able to execute on, and there were a lot of fun things in the golf montages that we got. So I really dug this film actually a lot, because a lot of legacy sequels and comedy sequels, and again, comedy is so damn subjective. It's so hard to make people laugh. So I was really pleasantly surprised with this film. Like I said, the first half I freaking adored. The second half I still liked a lot, but really shocked by how much I enjoyed this one. Not because I'm I hold Happy Gilmore to such a high pedestal. So that's why I was shocked by how much, because I don't expect sequels, especially when you take this long. I mean, granted, Top Gun was so damn good. Like, I don't expect sequels to be this good usually when it takes this long to make.
Yeah, I mean, it's
No.
clearly they cared to make this.
Yeah.
And
sure.
it reminds me of watching like Axel F, which I think all really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And that movie has a similar thing of like, okay, we're coming back after so much time, and we got to give him like a slightly more mature conflict to have. And I like that movie a lot. And I think what they did to again add a little bit more meat to the character was pretty good. But I feel like this in some ways outpaces something like that. Not that
I
they're
think
the
it's
same
better.
kind of thing. This, felt more rich and more like. And something like an Axel F, I'm like, good choice, but like what they're doing with it isn't overly inspired beyond what the actors are bringing to it. Where in just the personal life, Axel Foley's a bad dad kind of stuff is kind of what I'm thinking of. Whereas here, his struggles as a dad, his grief as a husband, his alcohol, like all the stuff really felt like they were just like of the character, and that's a kind of neat thing for a movie like this. And then I feel like you have the first half that's a lot more setup, and you're with a lot more of that stuff, and then the second half is still really fun, but you are doing more like, okay, we're gonna go from this set piece to this set piece to this set piece and to these gags and jokes. And so I didn't think it like fell off necessarily in the second half, but it does have like more just like stuff to get done by that point.
Yeah, I felt like with Axel F, that was an enjoyable movie. I felt like that movie was maybe like afraid to rock the boat as far as it's a legacy sequel to a franchise that's been well established and loved. But I feel like they didn't want to do too many new things and just call back because they just wanted people to have a sequel that was really well liked.
Just want to be definitely at least good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I felt like it was afraid to challenge it, not anger fans. Whereas this one, I felt like as I was watching it, I was like, okay, I feel like though it's a little stuffed, which is it was never a bad inclusion here. I enjoyed all the little cameos, but I felt like it did justify its own existence with an updated story and building upon what we established in the first story. The only thing I felt like, I don't know if contrived is the right thing, but I felt like the only thing that felt maybe a little inorganic to, okay, I can believe this. Whereas Happy, I'm like, okay, I can believe this guy became an alcoholic with a family and kind of fell off the wagon. The only thing that felt like this is a movie written thing that we have to establish where this guy is now was Shooter McGavin in a mental asylum. I thought that was just a fun movie thing, but I was like, I don't think that guy would really be in an asylum like all these years later. But I went with it. It was fun, and I like where it brought us.
I mean,
to.
there's so many things about the first movie that are so unrealistic that I can buy something like that. But I understand what you're saying. I get it.
It's
Like-
one of those things I think is designed to present you with like, okay, and here's the absurd cartoon thing that's happened to this guy.
Yeah.
Like Bob Barker beating up Happy Gilmore in the first movie, Joe Flaherty's character Jackass, like they would have thrown that guy out in the first. I mean, there's so many unrealistic things, so you just go with it. But again, I understand. What you're
It's not a problem. I was just saying that the main stuff felt like, okay, this is something that feels natural.
And
This is something
grounded.
that feels like it's written for a movie.
And
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
dignifying Happy's struggles, whereas Shooters are a joke.
Yeah.
I feel you.
I got you.
Let's
Think
go. Jay Rushton.
What up, Jay?
How
What
you
it
doing?
is.
Gilmore 2, here we go. Favorite real world golfer.
Jeez, because we all watch golf.
In the movie?
It
It says there.
I mean, I guess we're all Scheffler fans now.
Oh, right. Favorite world golfer there. I guess you're right in the movie. I guess Jack Nicklaus. I mean, he's probably the one I knew the most.
They had a bust of Tiger Woods, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Tiger Woods.
When
He's
I
the
was-
only golfer I know.
When I was a kid, I was really into Greg Norman. He had a shark as his logo, and he wore cool hats.
All
So
right.
that's gonna be my favorite real
All right.
world golfer.
But was he in this?
No, I
Okay.
don't think so. He could have been, and maybe I missed him because it's been some time. I'm not sure if he's still with us. I hope he is. Also, I guess
John Daly. Was it John Daly? Was that his?
John Daly was in
Yeah.
there.
Oh, the old man, he was a golfer.
Yeah.
I don't know golf like that.
Why don't you know golf?
And while we're here, I guess we should just name
he had a-
name Travis Kelce because he was in this. So
Yeah.
Travis Kelce was here too. He was having fun. And all those you got all those podcasts. That's one thing the movies do now, where you're like, oh, okay, we got to get a medley of podcasters on screen, which some make more sense than others. I feel like.
And to answer your question, I don't know a lot of black people that watch golf. So
That's what she said in the one scene. She's
Exactly.
like Happy Gilmore getting
I don't know
black
shit
people
about
interested in golf
golf.
again. Oh my God. Happy Gilmore too. Alexandria, thank you so much for chiming in. What do you think of all the cameos? Do you think having so many famous faces appear in the film takes attention away from the story they are trying to tell?
nope.
I don't know. It's well in line with the first movie,
Yeah,
so I don't think
there's
it's
a lot
problem
of famous
here.
people in the first movie too. But I understand your question. It could, but I think again because this film is really nuanced and in balance, it didn't for me. But I'd love to hear your thoughts, Alexandra, if you felt that it did take away for you. I mean, you're asking the question, so maybe it did, but I don't think it did for me because it was really a lot of times it was very quick cuts of those,
Yeah.
like whether it was Stephen A. But it also was in line with like the story, like it was pushing the plot forward as well. Like, hey, Happy fell off the wagon and did this, so you know what I mean. So those cameos were actually justified for being there too. A lot of times, and also too, like it was a way to push brands as well, and to get the film made, or to get a bigger budget. So I get that as well. But I thought it was fun for them to be there. And again, as John and Aaron pointed out, like it's in line with the first movie. There was just a lot of cameos as well, so it didn't bother me.
Well, and it's one of those things where, like, when you're in a scene like the one in the banquet hall where it's like all these different, I would assume, like
They are.
famous veteran golfers and also probably new up-and-coming golfers or contemporary famous golfers. Like, that's a scene that I think at least Aaron and I feel like you recognize the most people, but even you, I don't think recognized a ton of people in that scene. And so, like, that's a moment where I'm like, okay, I don't have as much to respond to here because I'm sure a lot's flying over my head. But it's also one of those kinds of movies where I'm like, but it's fine. Like, I'm sure a scene is going to come up in a few minutes where I will see somebody I know, and then I'll be happy again. And it's like, for, again, the fact that they're all golf related, I'm sure the golf fans watching this are going to be really excited. And then that makes me happy because I'm like, oh, this is for somebody.
Yeah.
And this is hitting enough in a bunch of other ways. And there are enough other cameos that I think are really fun or that are charming me or making me laugh or whatever. So yeah, this felt properly in the spirit of the first movie and in the spirit of it's a big party and we're coming back to this and everybody wants to jump on. We'll find a place to put you. And, I think that's part of what is beloved about these movies. So I could see, if it's not your bag and you find that distracting anyway, I could see you being distracted by
Definitely
it.
my bag, baby.
But I don't think it's distracting in this context.
Yeah, I also liked how much his family was in this movie, and all the people from all the other Happy Madison and just people in his career, like
Yeah.
the Safdie brother, and he directed Uncut Gems, and then a lot of people have just been in general
was
movies.
the
The guy who's the villain with the bad breath,
Benny.
he directed Uncut Gems. He's one of the two directors.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, I'm glad you said that.
Pretty wild.
I did not realize that.
In his rare comedy performance.
That is cool.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Alexandria. I think that concludes at least the Q&A
Yeah.
portion.
Yeah, but just final thoughts. I really enjoyed it. Great sequel. Good way of pushing the story forward. I don't know if there will be a third one. I don't know if it's necessary. If they did, I'd be okay with it. But again, I like how they were able to balance out emotional weight, the comedy, the meta-ness of certain moments. And I think they did a great job of what they did with the Happy character in general and what he had to deal with. That was a very bold, ambitious choice, what they did with Virginia and how they, again, had her character looming over the film and using her as emotional weight. But I think it did actually work. And I thought the film was hysterical too. At the same point, which you want in a Happy Gilmore film. So
Of course, yeah.
So I think the film worked for me. Any final thoughts before we get into some Rotten Tomatoes, gentlemen?
No, it really worked for me. I think that in spite of it being a little stuffed, I think that the heart was there. It made me laugh a lot, and I believed in the stakes of the movie, and I liked everybody who was in it. So this movie is a win for me.
Yeah, it updated itself nicely for the now. It carried over a lot of the stuff that you want it to carry over. I feel like this is pretty well conceived in that it hits it takes the right things seriously. It makes the right kinds of jokes about things. There are a couple moments where they're like, it's a different time, and we're acknowledging that. And I think they handled that in a good way. Like this is like I didn't. Legacy sequel, the more I care, the more, sort of nervous I get about these kinds of things. And so I didn't grow up on Happy Gilmore, but I did have a really good experience with it the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking heavily or dreading heavily like what the response to this would be, but I am like happily, pleasantly surprised that this is a solid and hey, I intentionally did just for you guys. No, it makes me happy though that this turned out the way it did, and that they, again, Adam Sandler is somebody who I gather people seem to love as a human being. There have been moments in his career where people are being like, "Oh man, this guy clearly seems like he's sleepwalking through this or whatever," and I feel like especially recently, he does have apparently that inspiration, that fire. Like it's clear he put some effort, and everybody involved, but it's clear he's a co-writer on this and has said that he's had the idea brewing for a long time, and I bought that, and I like that this felt like a labor of love. This didn't rely on the first movie, but it nicely repurposed it. I think I can imagine people griping about the fact that they'll show you footage from time to time. I thought that for the most part, that was a pretty well-handled motif to do because it is about nostalgia at the end of the day. We do all, or, if you're watching this, chances are you love the original movie.
Of course.
You have, strong associations with it from the past.
Yeah.
But I really liked everybody for the most part on the cast. I thought his kids did a good job.
Yeah, they did actually.
And it was shot nicely for what it is. It had some fun editing too. I looked at the director, and I mean, Kyle Newacek has mostly done a lot of TV comedy and stuff like that. But I mean, this had a lot of like punch in the little cut twos and things like that. There's some CG gags that you can kind of tell are there, but that I think fits within again the realm of wackiness that we're inhabiting. And like you could trim this down, but for the most part, pretty much everything has a nice, sheen and a nice, sense that everything was really kind of well thought out and also then played with on set.
For sure.
And I had a great time.
I'm sure we got some good engagement from it, but I got one of the golfers wrong, the one who shakes his head no from the first Happy Gilmore. And we saw him, with the golfers at that scene. It's Lee Trevino, not Jay Trevino. So I got his name wrong. I'm sorry, but I'm sure again
going to golf jail now.
I don't watch golf, but I'm sure my dad's pissed off at me because he knows him very well.
Oh, damn.
Anyways.
He co-wrote this with a dude he writes a ton of his stuff with.
Oh,
too.
Tim Herlihy, right?
Yeah, right. The original.
Yeah.
Billy Madison, Wedding Singer.
Yeah, he writes a lot.
Oh, yeah, Billy Madison. We watched that too. Little Nicky. Oh, we got to watch Little Nicky next.
Yeah, I would love to.
We gotta watch your favorite comedy, Little Nicky.
All right, guys, since you didn't do this, and obviously there's no box office to go off of in this, why don't we do this? Let's go Rotten Tomatoes on the first.
How many streams has this gotten in the last hour?
Yes, exactly. What did this film get on Rotten Tomatoes? Just do one at a time. On the first movie, the 96 film, what did it get on the critics?
I'm going to go 65.
Oh, that's a good guess. You know what? Critics? Ooh, that's a tough one.
First movie.
Because these would have had to have been compiled in hindsight, but there would be new reviews too. I'm gonna go 48.
63%.
Oh, hey,
okay.
I'm happy to be proven wrong.
I was close.
Audience. First movie.
106%.
Oh my God, you got it.
Wow. I'm gonna go 76.
76.
90%.
85.
Hey.
Okay.
Second movie, critics.
71.
71.
78.
We got a deadlock score at the same one as the first one, 63.
63.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Well, then you win that one.
Audience.
75.
85.
You were 2% off again, 73.
Damn.
All right.
Wow, my game's off.
Hey, any fun facts?
I got to do it with rage next time. That wind up motion was creepy as hell.
Yeah, it kind of was.
That as a motif was wild. Like that is, and that's a detail in this movie where it feels like, man, this is jam packed in like a kind of off the rails sort of way, but also it was another funny thing.
That is wild right there. Adam Sandler will be 58 when this movie is released. Carl Weathers, who played Chubbs, was 48 when the first film came out.
Holy
That's
crap.
some fun
You know what?
math.
You know what that reminds me of? It's kind of like Ralph Macchio, how
Sure.
how he looks now versus how Pat Morita, Mr. Miyagi looked in the first film.
Oh, is
Oh,
he older than
yeah.
Mr. Miyagi?
He's older now than Mr. Miyagi was in the first film.
Wow, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Here's some trivia for you. There were plans for Carl Weathers to return as Chubbs before his death in 2024. Adam Sandler said, quote, "We had a painful change. Carl Weathers had a massive part. I would
Oh,
talk to
wow.
Carl, and we were excited, and then Carl passed away.
Oh.
We had to rewrite a lot of stuff, and even what the story was. We made a lot of nice references to how great Chubbs was in the movie. That was the biggest change.
I mean, obviously, we know his character passed in the first movie, so I'm assuming it was in his happy place, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Because he said, again, to Adam's words, we had a lot of stuff for him to do.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what the role would have been.
They shot this in New Jersey instead of Vancouver, where they shot the first one.
Cool.
So no Smallville actors for you.
Oh, so one
Oh.
of Happy's sons named Terry is named after Happy's favorite hockey player, Terry O'Reilly. But also his girlfriend was named Terry in the first one. But yeah, that makes sense. Terry O'Reilly.
And we can confirm, Maxwell Jacob Friedman confirmed that he and the other actors playing the brothers did not use body doubles for their mooning scenes. And he even accidentally showed, quote, some danglage during a take.
Ah,
So that was authentic right
Wow.
there,
Good,
gang.
Big booty.
good to know.
Absolutely. Get them cheeks in there.
The
Maxi is a parody of the Saudi-funded LIV golf
That's what
league.
that's what I
Oh.
said. That's what I said to you guys. There was another league in real life, the pro golf that I know Phil Mickelson and a bunch of others. I knew that was like because that was my synapses were firing. Like, wasn't there something that happened in real life like that?
Similar to the movie, LIV
Yeah.
or Live is
And
advertised as a new, more exciting
Yeah.
and louder version of pro golf.
Yeah,
Look at that.
yeah, but they were being offered so much more money than what they were in the pro golf tournament. So I'm like,
Oh, of course, because they're just like, we're just gonna pay for this until it works.
Yeah.
You know.
Goddamn.
Oh my
Anyways,
goodness gracious!
all right, well,
what
that
a,
was
what
a-
a day, what a film.
yeah, that was a fun time. Anyways, what did you guys think of Happy Gilmore?
What notes did you guys take? I was just here counting up the holes.
Oh,
It's like a few.
I got a lot of shots recorded.
Yeah,
I don't know
you
if this
did,
is
okay.
accurate whatsoever, honestly.
I'll read off
And I
my
also
notes
wrote
real quick.
finger guns.
geez. Anyways, what did you guys think of Happy Gilmore 2? Let us know some of your favorite moments, your references, and
can read
just
my handwriting.
anything. Do you want a Happy Gilmore 3 third film, rather? Thank you if you've joined us this far. We appreciate it. Love you guys.
Mwah.
Take care. See you in the next one.